Hello, hello. What's going on, boys? How you guys doing? Oscar, I don't think anyone can read that. Very weird couple of days. Very, very weird couple of days. Alright, we'll get going in like a minute here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, so we got a bunch of stuff to watch on Spy here. Can you guys see my screen and hear me? What's going on, Ginger? How you doing? What's going on, Christian? Hey, Joseph. What's up, Lovish? Chilling, brother, chilling. Alright, so let's get it going right now. Got a bunch of charts to go over, so let's get it done real quick. So we got Spy here. It's a daily chart of Spy. It's obviously a very clear channel right from the bottom. So the reason that I was bearish coming into this week is just because of Friday. Friday we closed below the 50-day moving average after a very, very long time. So look at the last time we closed below the 50-day moving average, we did the exact same thing. I should have known better. So it just kind of faked us out, held the channel, and then closed above the 50-day the next day. What's up, Boogie? How you doing, Ricky? What's up, Ilya? How you doing, BV? Arthur? Good to see you guys. So we got a big fake out on Friday. It faked me out bad. Obviously, you guys see, and I turned a little bit bearish this Monday. Why did I turn bearish? Just because we got this close below the 50-day. And it really struggled the whole day to even get above the 50-day. It poked its head out above the 50-day, but it never even gave us a chance to close above there. What's up, Tanuj? So we closed below the 50-day on Friday, which was a big fake out. You've seen a lot of people turn bearish. Myself included, I turned bearish because of the big volume and the close below the 50-day. But what happened on Monday? They just tricked us right back. Algos bought it right back up, and we closed above the 50-day. So that's why this morning I got rid of my puts. I got rid of everything. We've seen continuation coming, and it's very obvious right now that we bounced the bottom of the channel with strength, right? Today, one thing to note is the small volume. Look at this tiny volume that was... We had a 0.53% day on SPY, which is a pretty big day. Yesterday we had a 1.43, so we had continuation today. Last 2 days we ripped up 2% in the indices, so that's very notable. But at the same time, the volume today was very low. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see if we get some continuation. If you look at the shorter term time frame, should be overbought. Yeah, so you see the hourly is almost overbought on SPY here. And why did I say that it should be? It's because the last 2 days we ripped up 2%. So right now we should have some healthy consolidation. You see the hourly is almost overbought. And every time we get overbought, you see back here we got a little pullback or just sideways. Just go back in history, you see overbought, little pullback, right? Overbought, little sideways, and then dump. So just keep an eye out for some consolidation tomorrow. Obviously the market can't just go straight up, so just watch for that. We got 2% in 2 days, very good for SPY. QQQ is leading the way. It was the strongest sector all day. They have this thing where they keep doing this same thing. They keep rotating between tech and XLF. So financials and tech are the biggest biggest parts of SPY, as I told you guys many times. And what's been happening lately is right in the morning, what will happen is QQQ will rip and then XLF will dump at that time. So I'll show you. You see the first 5-10 minute candle, first two 5-minute candles on XLF straight down, first two 5-minute candles on QQQ straight up, and then they reverse. So they exactly are doing the exact opposite thing. That's why I took GS this morning, is because I seen XLF dumping straight and I seen QQQ pumping right away. So I knew it was going to reverse. So I took some GS. What I didn't do properly is I should have taken it off for 25% right away. I got greedy. It happens to everyone, right? And what happened right after that? It turned and it went and it took out the low of the day. What happened to QQQ after that one dump? It just started ripping, and it started ripping the rest of the day, right? And so just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on XLF and QQQ. They've been moving opposite to each other for a couple days now. That's how I nailed that trade on QQQ on Fed Day, because it's been the same pattern. It's been whenever XLF is going down, QQQ is going up. Whenever QQQ is going down, XLF is going up. So just keep an eye out for that. Obviously, we got this very clear channel here. And another thing I want to show you on QQQ, which I was watching for, is this ascending wedge here. So this is a bearish pattern, just for the record. And you see, it's a very clear, it's right at the top right now. You can say whatever you want. I don't think it broke out yet. It went to 348 today. 348 was the high. But obviously we didn't close above that wedge. It looks like we closed right at resistance, right? So that coupled with probably hourly oversold. Yep, hourly oversold. Tells me there's a pullback coming. So I hope you guys took some profits today. Obviously, we can blow right through this resistance and keep going, but the most likely scenario here with the hourly being so high, with the ascending wedge resistance we're right at the ascending wedge resistance, the most likely scenario is some consolidation. So just be ready for tomorrow. So I was taking off a lot of stuff today. I sold most of my Apple. I sold a bunch of tech stuff, right? The only thing I held on to full size was like Spotify, I think, in the tech sector. XLF looks fine too. XLF joined the party today. If you zoom out on the daily on XLF, it doesn't look anything close to as good as tech sector. We had that big gap down and we just filled the gap. That's all we did. The gap from last Thursday was at the low was $36 and today we went to 36.11. So we filled the gap now. Let's see where we go from here. Either we keep going up and we try to take out this 36.59 resistance and start going back to all-time highs, or we reject 36.59, or we reject the 36 level, because there's two resistances here. Because like I told you, I think there's a statistic like 80 or 90% of all gaps in the stock market get filled. So right now we filled that gap that we needed to fill. And if we get past this gap of $36, 36.59 is the next resistance. And we have to get through both of them to start moving back towards all-time highs, or XLF can reverse here and move down. And if you look at the daily, we were oversold, so we needed this bounce. After this huge dump, we needed this bounce, and now we're not oversold anymore. So you just go back in history and you see how many times were we oversold. So look at this. This was a double bottom as well. So what happened was a big gap down, went up one day, went down, tested the lows, and then we started ripping. So that's exactly what's setting up here. Went up one day, or went up 2 days, but then we can still come back, test the lows, and we can run to all-time highs again. Because it's just the same pattern in XLF over and over. You see back here was the same pattern, right here was the same pattern. So just keep an eye out on the RSI, keep an eye out, let's see if we can fill the gap and keep going to 36.59. If we can't take out 36.10 tomorrow, then I expect us to go at least test this bottom of 35.18 again. Amazon, Ricky's favorite play, he crushed this play completely. Just look at this chart. Just straight up for like 3 weeks now, and we took out the highs, and the only resistance left on Amazon, I believe, is all-time highs, which is 35.52. 35.52 is the all-time high on Amazon. Oh no, 35.54 we got. 35.54 is the all-time high on Amazon. That's the only resistance left. But again, look at the daily. We're getting overbought here. We went on a big run, right? And like I said yesterday when I was telling you, look at this. This one was healthy. So we had a huge run up, consolidation sideways, then another move up, right? But look at every other time Amazon has run an insane amount. Look at this. So it runs 3 straight days and then it gives it all back. Runs like 10 days and then it gives it all back plus some. Runs like 8 days, gives it all back. So just keep attention, pay attention. Don't get greedy, take some profits. And just sit in your position, be happy. Yesterday was a rest day. Last 2 days were a rest day, consolidation. Let the 8-day moving average catch up a little bit, and now it showed continuation. I don't like that it closed under 35.10, just like Ricky was saying. But let's see if we can get some continuation tomorrow. Apple was the strongest name at the end of the day. Why do I say that? Because Apple closed at the high of the day, whereas Amazon closed down here. Let me show you intraday right now. Amazon and Shop have been the strongest names for the last 2 weeks, and today Apple was stronger than them. So you see how Amazon gave up these last 30 minutes, Amazon was dumping, right? If you look at Apple, the last 30 minutes, it just went sideways. It's closed right at the high of the day. Everything looks great on Apple. There's a ton of flow on Apple. And look at this breakout that we got. Ever since we closed above the 50-day moving average, it hasn't gone below the 50-day moving average. So the resistances we got on Apple next is, whoops, 1 second, sorry. Next resistance on Apple is 137, and then after 137 we have all-time highs of 145. So that's what we're looking for on Apple, 137 then 145. It looks very, very strong today, especially like the way it closed today shows that it should continue tomorrow. And I actually like it more for a gap up than any other tech stock right now. So let's see if Apple opens up tomorrow above 134. It could fly right to 137, and then after 137 is 145. Spotify, I took this one today because I've been watching this one for a while. If you guys remember what I was saying a couple days ago. It's been a while since Spotify. Ever since April, it hasn't closed above the 50-day moving average. And when it did close above the 50-day moving average on April, it gapped down on earnings the next day. So it ran up, and the only reason it closed above is because earnings degenerates are playing earnings calls, right? So I'm not going to count that close above the 50-day. Last time it closed above the 50-day was February 24th. So it's been 4 months since Spotify closed above the 50-day moving average. Today, it took it out with power. Look at the volume, too. Nice bit of volume there today. Closed above the 50-day moving average, and this chart is just beautiful to me. The next resistance for Spotify is until this gap fill right here. Oops. This gap fill right here is 292. So we got 292, and right here we got 300. So that's the next resistance between 292 and 300. If Spotify keeps going, these July calls can be big winners. So we only got 2 weeks on it, but if you even look like today, I'll show you another thing I seen. Like I was looking at the hourly chart, right? Look at this huge buying volume, and then look at the selling volume. No one was selling this for the last, since 10:30 this morning, there was no sellers at all. There was only buyers. So that's another thing I liked about Spotify. So I took 2 layers of it. I took weeklies and I took July 2nds. So let's see where this one can go. As I told you, there's no resistance in sight. It can keep going for a while. Space was one of the best charts today. I seen it on Quant Alerts. I seen Turkey and them were already in it, so I called it out. I think Tony B jumped in it real quick. And I think everyone made pretty good gains on this one, except Stonkshins. He didn't like it, so we got the daily chart here. We had this big run up, right? And look at this beautiful flag. This is a daily chart. Just consolidated after a huge move off the lows. The lows on this stock were 14.27. It ran straight from 14.27 all the way to 38.65. So that's almost a triple, right? So when a stock runs almost like 250% equity-wise, it needs some consolidation. It needs to let the moving averages catch up. It crossed over the 8 and 21 day moving averages, went sideways, formed a bull flag, and today was the confirmation on the bull flag follow through. And look at the size of the volume on the breakthrough. This is just absolutely beautiful. So what you want to see when it starts consolidating, you want to see volume fall off like this. When you see the volume going down like this during a bull flag consolidation, that's exactly what you want to see. That means no one's really selling it. It's just consolidating. It's just getting ready for the next move. And then you see that big bull flow volume right through the resistance. And then today I was just watching it all day. It just kept going and going and going. So it just went sideways, straight up, bull flag, straight up, bull flag, straight up, bull flag. And what happens next? You guys should know. And then at the end of the day, we got that big volume burst too. So I expect space to keep going through. Levels for space are, we got the gap fill till 41.66. And then after the gap fill, there's like a lack of resistance here. I don't even see that much resistance. So we got 41.66 here. Let's try it out for you guys. And just remind me at the end, I have Roku, but I want to show you guys something because I posted this one before. We'll go these ones first. So since we got next week's calls, the levels you want to be watching is 41.66 gap fill, and then after 41.66 is $47. So there's a big upside in space. If that news about Russell Branson catches some steam, this one can run. You guys seen how this one short squeezes? So this one should look good for the rest of the week. TTCF, another one I took today. It looks like it's done consolidating to me. One thing was that it held the 50-day moving average. Another thing was it has this doji. So when it has a big upper wick and lower wick on the daily, that shows like a doji candle. That means a reversal is in. If you guys want to see what I mean right now is, look at this candle right here. So you see how it ran up all the way, and then you see this big upper and lower wick. This is called the reversal doji. And what did it do right after it formed this day? Straight down. Okay, and I'm kind of seeing that same pattern right here on this one. So if it is a doji, we should be going back up. Another thing that I liked about TTCF is the hourly. On the hourly, what did I see again? Oh yeah, we got oversold right here. This is where I called it out. Obviously we did go down. No, I called it out like right here. Yeah, I called it out like 4 hours ago, I think. The hourly is just getting really oversold, and it's due for a bounce. So the hourly, let's see if we can start curling it up here. The daily looks great, like I showed you guys. And this is a good company. If you guys don't know Tattooed Chef, I know like almost all the companies. So when someone calls out a name, I already know what it is. These ones make vegetarian substitutes for food, and they're a brand new company, and they make it great. So they're getting in a lot of grocery stores and stuff, and I've seen a lot of positive news on this one, Tattooed Chef. And it used to be FMCI. I used to trade this as a SPAC. That's why I know this one very well. And we'll go to the next one, Baidu. These kinds of charts are T's specialty. I don't care about these charts unless they close over the 50-day. So Baidu I don't like as much as I like Baba, just because I know it better. But I don't see anything in Baidu until it closes above 197. I don't like it at all. Do Baba just in case. Baba, same thing. We're still under the 50-day. It's just a mess right now. Charts are all Chinese charts are messes. What they're doing right now is they put in the low, and right now let's see if they're forming a higher low. So that's all you can really say about Baba and the Chinese names right now. They put in a low, and now they're putting in a higher low, and then we need to see a higher high. So we need to see a break over to 223.13. So 223 level. We need to close above that to prove that this was a lower low, and then a higher low, and then a higher high. And that's when you change the trend on a stock. Right now it's still in a bearish trend. There's nothing really that excites me about it. I do have those 2023 leaps. I haven't even looked at them. I'm not adding to them. I'm doing nothing to them. Nvidia, just a crazy breakout, just a channel breakout right here. Look at the follow through on this. This is what happens when stocks announce splits. I wish Amazon would just announce a split for Ricky there. He'd be rich already. And look, they said they were going to split their stock. Look at this clear breakout, and look what it did after. It went all the way from 570 all the way to 775. That's a $205 move in like less than a month probably. So Nvidia right here, I don't see a buying opportunity. If you're still in, I'd keep a tight stop. Just keeps going up. And I think they're splitting this week, so just keep an eye. What happens usually is when there's news that's coming out that everyone knows, either it runs into the event and sells the news, or it goes down into the event and rips off the news. So just keep an eye on that one. Nvidia done. Etsy, we charted this one the other day. We said there would be a gap fill all the way up to 178. 178 is where the gap fill happens. Is that right? 181 is where the gap fill happens. Yeah, 181 is where the gap fill happens. It's just been kind of sideways after its previous earnings. Look at the big selling volume on the earnings. So they're just chewing up shares here, consolidating, and today we got that move, 4% move. The first level is 181. It has to get above 181 and hold, and then we'll talk about other levels. Right now it has a 50-day moving average resistance to battle with at 180.80, and then the next is 181. If it closes above 181, then I'll get interested in this name. But until then, let's see. And we got Workhorse here, just a flag. I had this level drawn out from like 2 weeks ago when we actually took calls. 1860. Nothing matters till Workhorse gets past 1860. Look at this huge volume here. These are all sellers here. So there's a bunch of shares they have to chew through to get through this 1860 level. Until it closes above 1860, I'm not interested in this chart at all. And then the last one, I didn't pull it up because I remember I went over Roku with you guys on a charting session before. And just look what I had drawn already. I don't know if you remember this, Tanuj, but I remember I sent this in the chat too. You can search for Roku. Had this huge inverse head and shoulders forming. And look, I had all these arrows drawn, and look where my arrow ends is exactly where we went today. So that's all I wanted to show you today. This is obviously a very nice chart. Very clear inverse head and shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, and boom. And look, it's been up for 4 days straight since it broke the resistance here. So just keep an eye out. The chart patterns usually work. You just have to have some patience. Clear head and shoulder inverse, and boom, break. And look, it closed at 403. Today I seen a big level, a big seller at 405. So just keep that in mind. 405 was a big seller there. I'll do Google for you too. Why not? Google just beautiful. It's all-time highs. Google ran before Apple and Amazon. So did Facebook. They're both at all-time highs. There's nothing really to see here. We could gap up tomorrow. It just looks like a flag. It looks like beautiful consolidation. When stocks run up a lot and they consolidate completely sideways, that shows real strength. One thing I didn't like about this consolidation here is the volume though. I wish the volume would dry up here. But everything else looks fine. We're at all-time highs, I believe, 25.43. Today we hit 25.45. So we hit all-time highs today. Let's see for a continuation tomorrow. Same thing with Facebook. It's been running by while Apple and Amazon have not. So again, I drew this channel completely sideways, consolidation. But today Zuckerberg announced some big news. That's why we got the breakout on this channel and we didn't get it on Google yet. And then there's the last one I wanted to do. I completely forgot now. What other one? Give me one more, because I forgot. Anybody? No, we good? All right, then. I will end it. Oh, I heard P-Ton went off today. Let's do P-Ton. They had some like very good news today, game-changing news. And look at this chart. Oh yeah, so I remember what I wanted to do now. Okay. So here, no, it's okay, Oscar, I got this. Look. So look at this exact same pattern as Roku. It's too late now. Hold on. Look at this. Let me turn this magnet off. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and boom, right? ZM, same pattern. A lot of these are having the same pattern. Just keep an eye out for them. And the ones that work, you need to keep an eye out on them for sure. Give me 1 second. You see P-Ton had the same pattern? And now I think ZM had it too. And now ZM is next, maybe. See if we got on the weekly. Yeah, so ZM, keep an eye on this one, especially with the new variant of COVID. It might get going next. So just keep an eye on Zoom video tomorrow. See if we can get the breakout and the same follow through that we got on P-Ton and on Roku. So just pay attention to these patterns. They're working right now. Alright guys, thank you guys for attending. I will see you in the chat tomorrow.